Hello, welcome back to our mono teams again in AllGen Reborn mod. And we are going to be doing our first mono team, the mono normal against the PULSE Tangrowth, the first one. We lead with Hawkion, which is an evolution that we get right as it gets to level 25. You just need some windy weather for it, and then we're going to use Vigoroth. That's all you need in this fight, just Vigoroth and Hawkion. Since Hawkion is evolves from Eevee, which is a normal type, then it's going to be viable for this mono run. I'm just going to switch between Vigoroth and Hawkion. You may have seen Sudowoodo that it was protected for the first turn. That's an elemental seed that's available in the base Pokemon Reborn game. And we have the Pulse, which is part of the main storyline. Basically a very big boss. Now we have to deal with Parasect, which is a bug grass Pokemon, and it gets its first turn being protected, so it can put me to sleep. Which is annoying, but what can you do? We just have to survive it and wake up. And the Air Cutter takes care of it. And next up is going to be Shedinja, which is weak. So yeah, that's it. Next up is going to be Mono Fighting, which we're going to use Monferno, Lopunny, Mankey and Crabrawler. Leading with Crabrawler, just to get rid of Masquerain. It intimidates me, but I don't really care right now. I'm just going to Bubble Beam it, which isn't doing much, but well, it's going to be just enough. Next up is going to be Parasect, so I have to bring in something that can or I can stay in with Crabrawler. It's going to go down to a Wood Hammer, since it's very weak defensively. But next up is going to be probably Lopunny. Or no, Monferno. And we're just going to Flame Wheel it. Sawsbuck. It's going to flinch us a few times with Headbutt. But what can you do? Those are the dice rolls. And now we're going to use Mach Punch to get a bit of a speedy run. Then we are going to use Flame Wheel on Tangrowth, and it's going to lower our special defense. What can you do? It's going to even drain us. And now we need to bring something in against it. At this point I'm just considering what, and right now it's Lopunny. Since Lopunny needs max friendship to evolve, Return gets a base 100 attack. And yeah, Lopunny is going to be pretty powerful in this fight. Next up is going to be Mankey, since I don't have anything to hit Shedinja with. Yeah, it's going to Will-O-Wisp us, but it's not going to do much. Next up is Sudowoodo. I'm going to bring back Lopunny. And Sudowoodo is going to be protected. And we're just gonna waste a turn. Try not to attack it due to its cactus-like shield. And it's going to take down Lopunny, but I have Mankey. Mankey has Seismic Toss, which deals base 25 HP. It's based basically on the level of the Pokemon, and it's not going to be affected by Burn. So next up is going to be my Mono Flying type, which is just going to include Charmeleon and Vespiquen. Masquerain is going to Dragon Rage Masquerain. Charmeleon is going to Dragon Rage Masquerain. Then we're going to go to Vespiquen. Struggle Bug is going to be boosted in this field, so we're going to use it. It's not going to KO, but it's pretty close enough. I just need to pray that it doesn't flinch us too much. Next up is going to be Sudowoodo. I'm going to go back to Charmeleon. Sudowoodo is protected for the first turn, so I can't do much about it. All I can hope is that I can take it down. Well, Sudowoodo is down. Next up is Parasect, which is going to... I'm going to go to Vespiquen if I'm not mistaken. Yep. So it's going to put me to sleep, but after I wake up, well, I'm going to gust it away. I just need to wake up. Okay, gust, and it's gone. Next up is PULSE Tangrowth, and I'm just going to Struggle Bug it to death. It's going to lower its special attack, so it's not going to be very effective against me. Although while it's still trying to lower my special defense. But yeah. PULSE Tangrowth is going to go down. Next up is going to be Shedinja. I'm going to switch into Charmeleon, since Shedinja is going to go down in one hit. And that's Mono Flying. Next up is going to be Mono Poison with Ivysaur, Arbok, and Toxionn. Toxionn is another special evolution that you get access to in this mod. You just need to have a level 25 Eevee and have it poisoned when it levels up at level 25. Arbok is going to headbutt Masquerain to get rid of it. Then we are going to bring in... no, we're going to stay in and crunch Shedinja. Sudowoodo. We're going to bring in one of the two Ivysaurs. There are two Mega Forms for Venusaur, so that's why I have two Ivysaurs. But in this particular battle, I'm just going to be using one. And Sudowoodo is going to go down to Ivysaur. Next up is going to be Parasect, which I don't have many options, so I think I'm going to go back to Arbok. It's going to put me to sleep, of course, but what can I do? Now I just need to Poison Sting it to death. I just need to wake up. Good thing I'm faster than Parasect. Next up is going to be Salzbuck. And right now I'm thinking about whether to bring in Toxionn or... and I think I'm going to bring in Toxionn. And I'm going to use Poison Tail to get rid of Salzbuck. Next up is going to be PULSE Tangrowth. And I'm going to stay in and just use Poison Tail against it. It's PULSE Tangrowth is grass and poison type, so poison does neutral damage to it. And yeah, maybe there were better options, but just using Poison Tail on it and guess it until it goes down is also something you can do. It's not the most glamorous way to defeat it, but still. That's mono poison down, basically. And now it's going to be mono ground. With Marshtomp, Onyx, Numel, 2 Teddy Ursas and the Wormadam. That's part ground. The Sandy Cloak version. In this case, Marshtomp is going to Rock Throw Masquerain away. And next up is going to be Sazbak, which I'm going to use Numel to deal with. There goes Sazbak. Next up is Parasect, and I'm going to bring in Onyx. And since it's protected, I can just use Stealth Rock to do something to waste a turn. It's going to use Nature's Power, which is going to bring in another move called Wood Hammer that deals recoil damage. So yeah, I sacked Numel too. And now I'm going to use Wormadam. It's going to put me to sleep and use Wood Hammer again. I just need to survive it. It almost goes down to its own Wood Hammer, but yeah. Next up is going to be Shedinja. And now I'm going to bring in one of the Teddy Ursas. One of the two, because there are two forms of Ursuluna. The regular Ursuluna and Blood Moon Ursuluna. Next up is going to be PULSE Tangrowth. And right now I'm just going to stay in, which is probably a mistake on my part, but yeah, I'm going to hope that Teddy Ursa can do some damage, which, since it's going to be almost healed exclusively by Mega Drain, it's not going to do much, even with a Stab Covet. Yeah. What can I do? It did something, and now I'm contemplating what to do. I'm going to bring in Wormadam and use Struggle Bug just to lower its special attack. Wormadam is going to go down since its job is done, and now I'm going to bring in the last Teddy Ursa and basically do the same as the last time, but since its special attack was diminished, now it can't heal as effectively. And now I'm going to go to Marshtomp to deal with Sudowoodo. Of course it's protected, what can you do? And now I can just deal with it. And that's Mono Ground. Mono Rock is Grottle, Onyx, Nosepass and Cast Form. As you can see, there are fewer there are fewer Pokemon on the Mono Ground right now. Okay, Stealth Rock against Masquerain. And Masquerain sets up a Sticky Web. I deal with Masquerain with Rock Tomb. And next up, I'm going to bring in Cast Form. Cast Form in this mod gets stat increases when it changes into its different forms. So yeah, while the moves are pretty varied, they are also very weak because it's early in the game. Later on, I'm going to use Cast Form with better moves. Well, Salzbach is done. Next up is going to be Parasect. And now I'm just going to sack Onyx if I'm not mistaken. Since it's protected, I can't do much. But it's going to recoil some heavy damage due to Wood Hammer, so there's that. And next up is going to be my cast form again, and I'm going to Ember it again. Next up is going to be Tangrowth. Contemplating changing it, but yeah, maybe I should have gone for a different move, but oh well. Didn't do much against it. And now I'm contemplating what to do against Tangrowths. And I chose my Nose Pass, setting up Sandstorm to increase my special defense passively. It's something that every rock, steel and ground type gets in that weather. And now I'm just hoping to get Tangrowth paralyzed with Spark, which it did. And I should have chosen to go to my Stab Rock Blast, but I don't know. I kind of forgot until after 2 more moves. Probably my Nose Pass could have dealt with Tangrowth if I chose Rock Blast from the very beginning, but oh well. Next up is going to be my Grotto. And right now I think I'm just going to bite it or bulldoze it. And there goes Tangrowth. Next up is going to be Shedinja, and I'm going to stay in. Just going to bite it. Next up is going to be Sudowoodo. Of course, its first turn is protected, so I'm going to just use Curse. And now I'm going to use Razor Leaf to get rid of it. Next up, Monobug with Mothim, Chargebug and Masquerain. You probably saw Mothim in a few teams already. Basically, it has a Mega form which has Protean as an ability, and while in this case it's perfectly legal to use in a Monobug form, there are certain teams where I used Mothim just because I didn't have any other options, like in the future Mono Dragon, as you will see in a bit. But yeah, Mothim is a pretty decent Pokemon. Yeah, I'm not going to entertain you. Masterful Poke. Hopefully that did the trick, otherwise I don't know. Well, Chargebug did his job against Masquerain. Now we are going against Salzbach, and due to having to go against Shedinja, its attack has been halved. Well, next up is going to be Mothim. I'm going to use Bug Bite against Salzbach, taking it down. Next up is going to be Sudowoodo. And right now I'm contemplating what to do. And I'm going to bring in my own Masquerain. And just going to use Aqua Jet. Barely. It lived on 1 HP. Next up I'm going to change to Mothim. It's going to put my Muffin to sleep, but what can I do? I just have to survive while it tries to wood hammer away. Next up is going to be my Tangrowth. That is going to be the Tangrowth. I'm just going to use Gust against it. It's going to lower my special defense, but what can I do? Muffin is going to go down, and I'm going to bring in Masquerain to get rid of Tangrowth. There goes Tangrowth. Next up, Mono Ghost with Vulpix, Drowsy, Mankey, Muffin, and Drifloon. And yeah, in this case, Vulpix gets a Mega that's part Ghost. So yeah, in this mod. So I'm going to take advantage of that. Vulpix is going to get rid of Masquerain. Next up is Sudowoodo. Mankey is going to get rid of Sudowoodo, but first it's... well, right now I don't have many options since it's protected. Considering whether or not I should change it, but since I'm already here... yeah, you can see I took some damage because I attacked it directly. But now... I can just take down Sudowoodo. Next up is Sawsbuck. And I'm going back to Vulpix. To get rid of it in one hit. Next up is going to be Tangrowth, and I'm going to stay in. Contemplating whether or not I should use Will-O-Wisp again, Will-O-Wisp on it. And I missed. So I'm going to try again, because, you know, sunk cost fallacy. Maybe I could have dealt with it if I have chosen just Flame Wheel, but oh well. Considering whether or not I should go to Mankey, but I decide to go to Drifloon. And try and use Confusion, which doesn't do much. So I'm going to go to Gust, which at least gets some stab. Okay. It's going to get... unfortunately, Drifloon is going to die to Parasect's Woodhammer. Then Mankey is going to come in and use Seismic Toss to deal some damage. And it's going to go down too, which is a shame. And now I'm considering what to do. Drowsy is going to come in next. It also gets a Ghost Mega, so that's why I brought him into this so-called Mono Ghost. And yeah, I just need to survive. I survive, and next up is going to be Shedinja. And I forgot that I don't have anything to deal with it, and it also outspeeds me. And now I'm just going to bring in Muffin, and I'm just going to deal with it that way. Next up is Mono Steel with Onyx, Bronzor, Wormadam, Trash Cloak. Onyx is going to come in, probably set up some Stealth Rocks. And then use Rock Tomb to get rid of Masquerain. Next up is Sawsbuck. And I'm going to use Wormadam Trash Cloak, which is Bug and Steel. I'm just going to use Bug Bite to get rid of Sawsbuck. Next up is going to be Shedinja. I don't have anything to deal with it. And I'm considering all my Pokemon, and I decided to go to Onyx to use Rocktomon again. Rocktomon in it. It misses Will-O-Wisp, which is good. Although I can't really use Onyx with all the rest of the Pokemon. So right now I'm just going to bring in Bronzor. And I'm just using Confusion against this Tangrowth. It's going to use Vine Whip, which isn't going to do much. It realizes that it's not going to do much, so it's going to bring in Parasect, which wastes its protected turn, but still I can't do much against it, so I'm going to be put to sleep and I'm going to have to suffer some wood hammers. And I just need to wake up. Good thing is that Parasect is going to be weaker. Okay. Next up is going to be Sudowoodo. So now I'm considering what to do. I'm going to bring in Onyx again. Sudowoodo is protected, so I'm just going to waste a turn while it sets up. I raise my speed and I decrease its speed. So yeah. Now I outspeed it and got rid of Sudowoodo. Next up is Tangrowth. And I'm going to go back to Bronzor and use Confusion against it. It isn't going to do much, but still. It's doing something. Bronzor is going to go down. But Tangrowth is pretty weak. And I'm going to finish it up with Wormadam. And that's Mono Steel. Next up is going to be Mono Fire with Charmeleon, Numel, and Castform. Start off with Charmeleon dealing with Masquerain. Then I need to bring in something to deal with Sudowoodo. And I'm considering Numel. Now you can see 3 Charmeleons. That's because there are 3 different forms of Mega Charizard in this mod. The two Mega Charizard, X Mega Charizard Y, and Dynamax Charizard. Right now I used Numel's Curse to get some extra protection against Sudowoodo. Since I can't hit it, then I used Magnitude to deal with it. And now I'm just going to tank a bit from Sawsbuck, get rid of Sawsbuck. And now I'm just going to have to survive. And I couldn't survive. So now I bring back Charmeleon. And use Fire Fang on it. I get poisoned, but oh well. Next up is going to be Tangrowth, and I'm going to use Dragon Rage against it, since it does fixed damage. And it's going to go down to 3 Dragon Rages. And next up is going to be Shedinja, and it's going to kill me with that. So I decided against using another Charmeleon. And I'm going to go to Meteo and use Ember on it. And that's Mono Fire done. Next up is going to be Mono Water. And for Mono Water we use Castform, Ducklet, and Masquerain. I go into my Castform and decide to use Ember in this case for some extra damage. Masquerain is burned, but it's not going to matter. Now it helped me set up my Castform with some extra stats due to Rain Dance, although it also gets pretty weak against it. against any future Pokemon. Then I bring in my own Masquerain, and I just use Gust against its Sawsbuck. Does more than half damage, so it's good. Next up is going to be Sudowoodo, and I'm going back to my cast form. Oh, I can't do much against this, it's protected, but hopefully we can get rid of it with Weather Ball. It survives the Sturdy, which is annoying, but what can you do? Next up is going to be Parasect, and I need to bring in something against it. Contemplating between Ducklet and Masquerain. And I bring in Masquerain. I know that I'm going to be put to sleep, but what can I do? And now I just have to wait out the Wood Hammers. It's not going to do much against me, but still. It's annoying that I can't do anything until I wake up. And that's Parasect done. And now I'm considering what to do. I'm going to stay in against Tangrowth and just use Gust. It's not going to do much, but still, some damage is better than no damage. I even got a crit, so yeah, but it also critted me. So now I'm considering what to do. And I think I'm going to get in my cast form and use Ember against Tangrowth. Unfortunately, it's going to keep Mega Draining me away, and I barely do any damage in the long run. But still, some damage is better than no damage. Cast form is down, and now I'm going to choose Ducklet. Ducklet uses Aerial Ace, and it brings down Tangrowth. And now I just have to use Aerial Ace on Shedinja, and that's Mono. Next up is going to be Monograss with Roselia, Floragato, and Wormadam Plant Cloak. I lead with Floragato since it gets Protean, so I can just transform into normal to avoid any potential damage from Masquerain, and I'm just going to get rid of it that way. Next up is going to be Shedinja, and I'm contemplating what to do. I'm going to stay in and use Bite. That's going to get rid of Shedinja. Next up is going to be Parasect. And I'm considering all my options. Since Parasect is protected, I can't just do anything against it. So I'm going to use Roselia. Since it's protected, I'm going to Growth for the first turn. And the second turn. And the third turn. Maximize my chances. And now I'm going to use Poison Sting to get rid of that. Next up is going to be Sudowoodo, which is also going to be protected, but what can you do? And now I'm going to use Mega Drain. It's going to survive with Sturdy, but I also get some health back. So yeah, that's that. Next up is going to be Sawsbuck, and I'm going to use Poison Sting. Next up is going to be Tangrowth, and again Poison Sting, which isn't going to do much. And that's Roselia done. Next up is going to be Floragato, and I'm just going to fish for critical hits with Slash. And yeah, unfortunately, it's going to use Mega Drain on me to get some health back. What can I do? And now I'm going to go to Wormadam's Grass Cloak to use Struggle Bug so I can weaken its attack with special attack. And next up is going to be Mono Electric with Electric, Charge Bug, Morpeko, and Partner Pikachu. You can get a Partner Pikachu as your starter with a password, and that's what I'm going to lead with. And I'm just going to bring in... I'm just going to use Partner Pikachu against Masquerain. Next up is going to be Sazbok. For that I'm going to use Charge Bug. It's going to set up Rain Dance, which doesn't affect me at all. Next up is going to be Shedinja. Contemplating whether or not I should stay in and use Acrobatics on it. And oh, I forgot that it isn't affected by Electric, so yeah. Or that was a misclick. Either way, I got rid of Shedinja, but now I'm Will-O-Wisp. And now I'm just going to stay in and use Dig. It's not going to do much, but still. It's better than nothing. Sudowoodo is just going to kill my Charge Bug. And now I'm considering going to Partner Pikachu. Also, you can notice that Loudred is here. It has a Mega Form, which is part Electric, so it's viable for Electric Mono types. And Partner Pikachu is going to get rid of Sudowoodo. Next up is going to be the Parasect, so I'm contemplating what to do against it. I don't have many good electric Pokemon, as you can see, since we're just before the second gym. So I'm going to hope that Pikachu can deal with Parasect on its own. Of course, no. It just helps Parasect get some extra attack. And now Electric is going to get in and be destroyed by Parasect's Wood Hammer, but at least it did its job. We've got rid of Parasect. Now Morpeko is going to come in, and right now I'm just going to fish for flinches against Tangrowth with bites, and it works pretty good. It's not the most efficient way, but I don't have many good Pokemon to bring in. And that's Mono Electric. Next up is Mono Psychic with Noctowl and female Meowstic. Well, first off, Noctowl. And I'm considering whether or not I should go for Wing Attack or Uproar. I decided to go for Uproar, since it's special attack, so it's not affected by Intimidate. And down goes Masquerain. And I'm going to stay in and still do my Uproar. Now I'm going to use Wing Attack against Sazbok, which is enough to bring it down. And now I need to bring in something else against Sudowoodo. Considering whether or not I should bring in any other Pokemon, but only Meowstic has something that's actually good against Sudowoodo. And now I just have to do something to wait out its invulnerability turn. And now I can use Magical Leaf to get rid of it, and Disarming Voice at the end because of Sturdy. Next up is going to be Shedinja, and I don't have any way to hit it due to its Wonder Guard ability, so I'm going back to Noctowl to use Wing Attack on it. And that gets rid of Shedinja. Next up is going to be Tangrowth. considering whether or not I should use wing attack or confusion. Wing attack does decent, I guess. But uproar does more. And I'm just going to be locked into uproar for a few turns. But the good news is that Noctowl gets rid of Tangrowth, and now I just have to deal with Parasect. And I'm going to just use I'm just going to have to get hit, and now I'm going to go to Mono Ice, Castform, Alolan Vulpix, Crabrawler, and Delibird. Those are the 4 Pokemon that I needed for my Mono Ice. They aren't very good Pokemon, but what can I do? Alolan Vulpix deals with Masquerain. Then out comes Shedinja, and I think I'm going to use Payback to get rid of it. And that's it. Next up is Parasect, and I'm considering whether or not I should stay in. That EV is for the future Glaceon. I was really I didn't have many options against this team with my current Mono Ice team. So yeah, Parasect is going to hit me a few times with Wood Hammer. What can I do? At least I woke up and dealt with Parasect. Now next up is Sawsbuck, which I know it's going to headbutt me, but oh well. I'm going to bring in Alolan Vulpix again, just to get its speed low. And it's going to headbutt me again, so yeah. Considering what to do right now, I'm going to bring in my Delibird and try and use Ice Shark. But since it has Rustle as an ability, it gets a decrease in its accuracy, so I missed the first turn. Next up is Crabrawler against the Dodo, and I'm just going to use Bubble Beam for now. It's going to use Rock Polish, and now I'm going to use Power Up Punch. Although I get crit attacked, and all of my attack is suddenly boosted to the max. And now I'm contemplating what to do. I use Payback, which isn't going to do much even with my maxed out attack. And I'm going to use Slam, which might have 2-hit KO'd if I had used it from the very beginning, but oh well. And I'm going to... I'm contemplating what to do, but I'm going to try and go to Delibird. And that deals with Tangrowth. And next up is going to be my Mono Dragon with Charmeleon, Altaria, Noibat, and Muffin. Yeah, there aren't many early game dragons, so that's why I had to bring in Muffin. Fire Fang against Masquerain. Deals slightly more damage than Dragon Rage, but still not enough to one-hit KO. Considering what to do against Sudowoodo, I don't have many good options, and I probably could have stayed in, but I decided to save my Charmeleon. Now I'm just going to try and attack with whatever I have. I don't have much, so I'm going to use Takedown, which isn't going to do much. What can I do? My Swablu gets downed, and now I have to consider what I can do against it. I bring back Charmeleon and use Dragon Rage, although I sacrifice almost half of my health. Next up is Tangrowth, and I'm going to use Dragon Rage again. Tangrowth goes down. Now I'm going to bring in my Noibat. Yeah. As you can see, I'm pretty desperate. And I get a flinch. But I managed to set up one Razor Wind. Which is now a 2-turn attack since, I don't know, Generation 8. Yeah. Now I'm considering what to do. Charmeleon is pretty weak. And it's going to go down to Sawsbuck. And now my only other Pokemon I have is, well, Muffin. So yeah, I'm betting against God here. Of course it's going to go to sleep. And it's going to be pummeled with Wood Hammer. Good thing that it's 4 times resistant to it. Now I just need to wake up. Which takes a while with Mutton, unfortunately. But I wake up and get rid of Parasect. And next up is Shedinja. And I managed to survive, so that's Mono Dragon. Scuffed Mono Dragon, but it's done. Next up is Mono Dark. With Croconaw, Cacnea, Arbok, Mightyena, and Morpeko. Well, I bring in Croconaw against Masquerain. This Aurora Beam, which isn't going to do much, unfortunately. But still, better than nothing. Masquerain goes down. Next up is going to be Shedinja. And I decide to stay in due to having Bite. I get Will-O-Wisp, but what can I do? That's the risk, I knew about it. Next up is going to be Parasect. And now I'm going to get in Cacnea, which is a mistake. Even though it doesn't get its Dark type just yet, it's well, it gets critted. And I can't do much against Parasect. I decide to go into Mightyena, which, yeah, it's a mistake since it uses Wood Hammer on me, but at least now it's very weak. And now I'm considering what to do. And I think I'm bringing in more Pico. And I'm going to use Bullet Seed against it. There goes Parasect, and now I'm going to stay in with more Pico against Tangrowth. Just to fish for flinches with Bite. Kind of like with my Mono Electric. So yeah, if you've seen Mono Electric, you know what my strategy is with more Pico against Tangrowth. It's mainly luck based, but I mean it works. Down goes Tangrowth, next up is Tang with Sawsbuck, and I don't have much to use against it, so I'm going to bring in Arbok since more Pico went down. Sawsbuck for some reason decides to use Rain Dance, and now I'm going to be flinched by its headbutt, but I'm going to use Poison Sting. Next up is going to be Sudowoodo. I'm going to stay in and just wait out its turn. And then I'm going to just use Glare just to get it paralyzed. Use Crunch to get its defense down, but I'm going to actually go get it done. Okay, Mono Fairy is next, Cherim, Butterfree, and Pikachu. As you can see, that's not very fairy-ish, but all of them have different forms. This case, this partner Pikachu can later be turned into an electric fairy variant, so that's why I'm using it. Butterfree gets a Mega that gets part fairy, So, yeah. Going to use Bug Bite against Sawsbuck. And now I'm going to go to Cherin, which in case it would be sunny weather, then it would also get another form, which is part fairy. But in this case, since it's raining, well, I just have to deal with its current stats and form. Also gets an increase in stats in sunny weather. But Cherim is enough to get rid of Sudowoodo. Next up is Shedinja, and I can't do much against it since I don't have anything to hit it with. And I decide to go back to Butterfree to use Gust against it. They use Shadow Sneak for some extra damage, but it's not going to matter. Next up is going to be Tangrowth. And now I'm considering what to do. Should I go to Alolan Vulpix, or stay in, or use Pikachu? Well, I decide to use Pikachu. Why? Because it gets Nozzle, so I can paralyze Tangrowth. Which I can then use Electro Ball to see how much I can do, which is a decent amount. And that's what I'm going to be doing. Even though it uses Mega Drain to heal itself, it's sometimes it gets paralyzed. And Pikachu goes down. Next up is going to be Butterfree. And I'm going to use Gust to get rid of PULSE Tangrowth. And now I just have to deal with Parasect. It's going to put me to sleep, but I just have to wait out the turns. And that's it for Mono Fairy. Goodbye, guys.